So of course, you know, the worst time for the video camera to cut out would be as it was reaching that high point of spin. But folks, I decided to take the moments to set up the simplicity for the twin tubbing that's going to follow. So I re-wet this load so you get to hear what I was telling you about it ramping up. And I've got it set up, as you see, the twin hoses. This is the one for the simplicity, and the Maytag over here, which usually they stay. They should be rehooked back up to the sink. And this one is from the simplicity now. As I said, I use the simplicity one because it's got a flared end. The Maytag doesn't. It has a flared end that makes it fit into the sockets on the simplicity better. And since it also fits right into the Maytag with absolutely no problem, I can use it in there as well. So, well, this just makes things a lot easier. So, back to the spin and the ramping. Here we go. Part 2. The lid tends to vibrate sometimes, so if you just hold it less, but there you go. There's that power. I don't know if it comes through in the video the way I'm hearing it and the way it is in person, but this is a powerful little spinner, I gotta tell you. With the simplicity being so quiet, you can barely hear it running. The Maytag is loud enough that you know it means business. The Hoovers are just noisy, plain and simple. Anyone who's ever used one or heard one knows that, and they do what they do, and they do it damn well, and they spin fast. But the Maytag's just a lot of fun. Now, back to this braking thing I was telling you about. You can see how it vibrates the water, actually. Here we go, the braking valve. And done. And that just pops out, and there you've got a fairly nice fluffed up load of clothes. However, as I said, the disadvantage being in this machine that they cannot be spin rinsed. So what I do with the loads is, actually I should be doing that now, is I spin rinse in the simplicity. As I take them out of the Maytag, I drop them into the simplicity. And I do the deep rinsing in there. Now, you've seen my video of the simplicity in action. You've seen the spin rinsing and the deep rinsing, so I don't know if I need to bore you with watching my triple deep rinses. I'm going to, I'll do one for you, and then I'm going to pause for a bit as I prepare for the next load. And I'm going to fill the simplicity tub and refill the Maytag's tub so that I'll wash the next load in the Maytag while rinsing a load that I need to rinse in the simplicity here. And you will see them both in washing action, and maybe if we're even lucky, you'll get to see that finale where they're both in wash action and spin action at the same time. It's actually quite dramatic in twin tub land because these are very different machines. The Simplicity is the largest twin tub I've ever seen, and the Maytag, as far as I know, and most people have seemed to have confirmed, is pretty much one of the smallest twin tubs ever made. And they seem to be both the best twin tubs that were ever made, as well as far as quality. Definitely quality. Simplicity is based on a service design out of Britain, and it was made in the US by Speed Queen, and sometimes here in Canada by that as well. And these were darn well built machines, and if you've seen my video of the Simplicity, then you know how well built they are. But as you can see side by side, the ratio of size is incredible. The Simplicity is a lot more serious. It, as I said, is larger in capacity, in everything that it can do. The spin rinsing, it's just a much better machine. The Maytag, as cute and fun as it is, and it really is cute and fun, the problem with it is that it's not big enough, and it's not necessarily I guess, practical for doing a lot of laundry. So now time for a quick spin in here, and while that's going on with its ultra silent spin, I'm going to bring this over here now. I'm going to start filling up this one. Now, if any of you haven't seen my video on the simplicity, then you'll be able to definitely see that the one thing between these two machines, aside from the size as well, is the different style of washing systems. This being the impeller, this being an agitator style. Very different, obviously. Agitators tended to be, I believe, more a North American design, and also agitators tend to run a lot longer. Both speeds are 15 minutes, up to 15 minutes long, depending on what you need. When I rinse in this machine, I generally rinse for about 3 minutes. And I'm going to put some of my white vinegar in that I use for my rinsing. My good old President's First Natural vinegar. And of course, as this is filling up, the spinner is starting to vibrate away. You can see actually the vinegar jug vibrating, because the spinner is spitting out all of that first spin water. With my water pressure the way it is and the time it takes for this spin rinse, I can usually get this tub filled up to where I need it to be, which is that line on the agitator you see, between the fins, just in time for the spinner to have spun out all the water, pumped it out, and ready for a spin spray rinse. So that's kind of cool. The timing is okay. Put this on a few seconds worth of gentle agitation to swirl around the vinegar into the water. Look at that, there we go, the twin tubs. Right now it's all about the simplicity. The Maytag's on pause for a moment, and it will get filled up again with hot water for the next wash. There's only one more load I'm going to do, and then we'll get these other things in here to rinse. just in time for another deep rinse in the spinner. It's second. So now we get that deep filling, and come over here and get the other load. The Maytag going for its 30-second stir up with the soap. The Simplicity is doing its spin rinse. That's the only drawback of this setup. The Simplicity's lid is a little bit in the way of the view of the fun of the Maytag. Second rinse done. You see how the pump activates without the spinner because it's electric. So we'll get that spinning. I'm going to get the Maytag washing. Nope, not just yet actually. I am going to bring over these items that need to be rinsed. And we're going to drop those in so that you can see both machines in action at the same time. Now you can hear how quiet that spinner on the Simplicity is. So that's 4 items, 2 sweatshirts, 2 sweatpants in there. They were washed yesterday and spun rinsed, but I had kind of forgotten them after everything else and didn't get them deep rinsed. I'm going to leave the lint filter off for this. They're not that linty and it'll come off in the dryer just because it's more fun to watch the action. So let's start the Maytag first because it's got the longer amount of time to go, and that's got 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you the first minute of this, and then I'm going to go over to the Simplicity and start it. And I think that was 3 or 4 large towels in there and 2 smaller hand towels and a couple of small rags. So again, you're not a bad load in that little tub. And again, you can see that there's really some vigorous action going on in there. We'll stand over it for a second here before we move over to the Simplicity for 2 minutes. See again, if you can look straight down and see that tornado effect as well as the rollover. For the spray rinse in the Simplicity. still smell the bleach from the first load because I don't refill, I don't reuse the wash water, I refill with fresh, as you saw. So let's sneak over here to the Simplicity and go for 3 minutes of agitation on that. You watch the power as that little agitator drags those clothes down. Well, twin Tubbin. Unfortunately, the Maytag isn't spinning, but the Simplicity, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it is spin spray rinsing right now. That's why that rag's around it, because the water sprays a bit. But let me just get it out of there so you get a nice look at it. There you go. Let me try and look overhead. Spin rinse. Maytag's done for a moment. What I like to do for my third rinse on my clothes, well, that's shut off at the same time too, so they'll wait a moment, is I like to take the load out and reverse it for the third rinse. I have discovered that sometimes the clothes, even after 3 rinses, still feel warm, the ones at the bottom, from the pressure of having been pressed down so tight that the water didn't get to go through them. So I like to not only rotate them, but kind of fluff them up a bit so the water can float through them a bit. And I find it pretty effective, especially when I've done something like this where I've used bleach. I like to be a little bit more thorough in my rinsing. I'm not going to do a 4th rinse this time, which I would usually do when I do bleach. This time I don't feel the need to do that, but I would normally have done that. So as soon as this is done, this one's spin rinsing. This will be its last spin rinse. So while it's doing that, we can come over here to the Maytag, and we can be moving these over. believe it or not, this is very hot water, folks, but it's not bothering my hands as much as you'd think it might be. I don't ever wash in cold, ever, for anything. There we go. That is in. Rinse off my arm with this. How tacky is that? I like to spin this around a bit while it's filling, give it a bit. The weird thing about this, by the way, the Maytag will spin either way, as you can see. I can spin it either way manually, but with the Simplicity, it will spin one way only. It will lock when you try and do it that way. The funny thing is, that's the position clockwise that it spins in. So that's the position it locks in when you try and do something to it manually, which is strange. But this is not. This is being counterclockwise, not the way it spins. So you can get away with that. I'm not quite sure what that little quirk is, but I won't question it. All right. I hate the mess this machine makes. You get the water all over the place. There's a lot of cleaning up afterwards, but I always have rags around and spinning them throughout the cycle because it's a messy machine. So we'll get that spinning, and we'll get that spinning. And dual pumping. Such power. It's so powerful. I love this powerful machine. It's not the most powerful spinner of twin tubs out there, but boy, it's butch. It may be tiny, but it's butch. How quickly that thing breaks. Put that back up to spin again, which the Simplicity, as you can tell by the sound, is just getting itself ramped up. I'm going to give it one more spin spray while it's doing this, and that'll be the end of its third rinse. And then I can spin these out, and then the stuff that's in the Maytag can go in here for a spin rinse after that. And then they'll all get, those two loads will get a deep rinse in the Simplicity, and it's over. So far the video keeps going, and I might as well just keep going since we're here. But here was that braking action. There's how fast that sucker stops. And the Simplicity is still pumping some water out, so we'll leave it going for a couple of more minutes.